Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. Today we are going to see how to create the oReNG manipulation. In this tutorial we go to see how to create the oReNG manipulation, where, build that and how to work that. So now let's start. First we go to take the seed of your word. This is my creative copy of Word, and with the command /seed you go to see the seed of your word. And now we go into the external program for the RNG manipulation, and you can download this program in the description or my server Discord. And now we go in the program. So the program is lighting machine tool created by Earthcomputer and 0x53AA71ABA11A, and all people have exploited RNG manipulation, but now there is some type of RNG manipulation, weather, lighting, mob, but for this video we got to use multi-fortune, not fortune. Why not that? For the problem, fortune is for one type of ore. Example, I have selected diamond and work for all diamond, but not work for emerald or coal. If you use multi-fortune, you select what do you want for that farm. Most important for work, you use fortune 3 on your pickaxe. Now we start with enter your word seed, and now search from. Advice to use 500 and 500 for the problem. If you set 0, you go to see in output is too near to spawn, and this is a problem. If that is near to the spawn, you don't build the other farm. If you use 5000 and 5000 on output, is possible there is not near to spawn and it's best. But when you set this on 5000, you don't cage at max advance and don't cage jumper, but there isn't another. And you go to set what do you take from this RNG manipulation. In particular, I have select diamond, quartz, coal, redstone, lapis and nether. But if you want, it's possible to select poison, potato and sapling, but for me, no, in this case. You go to click on calculate and go in output. In my case, I go to use that line. For the problem, it's not possible for me use that, is so close of my farm, but this is good for me. Important, if advance is not equal to 0, don't use. Is obligatory 0, most important. And another, if you have or equal to 1, you take from all type of ore 1 item. If you have 4, you take from all type of ore 4 items, and same for 2. Same for the redstone, nether quartz and lapis. In my case, I have selected that, and in my case, from lapis I take 32 items, from nether quartz 4, but I'm not interested in that. Or 4 and it's the max, and redstone 4 is not the best for the redstone, but for me it's good. Now you go to take these two coordinates and go into Minecraft. Now I'm on Minecraft and go to paste the coordinate, and now what to do with this coordinate. So first we go to locate the center of this coordinate, and this is the calculation to do to find the center of the region, and you change the coordinate with your coordinate, the first and first, the second and the second coordinate, and this is the result. Now go at this coordinate for 300.5. is necessary, is not possible to use this coordinate, but you go to, it's necessary to round the number and select epsilon is not necessary, but I set 100, and the last is that in my case. And now TP at that coordinate and F3 plus G, and this is the chunk. Now we wait for the rendering of the chunk. Okay, I upload the chunk. Now you go to remember this chunk. In my case, I go to create one platform called block. Oh, so stupid. And now I go to fill the entire chunk. Okay, so now if you go to use mini OKD for consider region, you go to see this is the first region where you stay for the RNG manipulation, but the real region of the RNG manipulation is that. Now in my case, the render distance of my server is on 12. Now we go to see where I can see the platform. Yeah, perfect. When I go in this chunk, I can see the platform, and it's perfect. This for the problem I'm in the region, in the new region, and this is perfect. Now, so it's possible sometimes you is not in the perfect chunk, and it's possible you have not the region in front of your chunk. And so how can I be sure about that? It's very simple. You go to use the coordinate, go into this coordinate, first coordinate, oh yeah, and you open your minimap and go to see this is the chunk, this is the chunk, one corner of the chunk, and with the second number you go in the second corner. And this is the perfect center. If you are not in the perfect center, you have you made the calculation wrong. But in my case is perfect. Now I go in the chunk, weather clear, and go to weather cycle false. Now how to do? It's so simple. You go in the region and you go in the border, and you go up how much you want. In my case, place one block, glowstone in my case, and yeah, and go to create the schematics. The schematics is on my Discord server. oReNG grid chest. Yeah. You don't change the rotation. You go to move the schematics and it's so big, all schematics. Okay. Now it's correct. You move the chest to the chunk border. And now you go in this second chunk. And you move this chest into this chunk border. Now, this is not important where he is in this chunk, but this is important is in this chunk. And all chest now is aligned to the chunk border. And now you go to place 1849 chest, and yeah, it's so fun to place. And the glowstone is not necessary to place, but if you want, you place. If you don't want, don't place. Now I go to place all these chests. And I have finished to build the entire system. Now, how to start the system is so simple. You go in your chunk. And now, most important, you go to create the very simple contraption. In my case, I use this material. So I go to use all this material. The stick is not necessary. And I go to create the contraption. The idea is that from this chunk you go right in this border of region and go in this chunk where this start. And for that there is two type of instant wire. The first is that. The first is this two instant wire. And the second is very simple. One sticky piston and 11 slime block. But in my case, I'm going to use this instant wire. And now I go to build setup. Now I have finally finished the entire instant wire system, and at the end of the instant wire system there is one hopper with one item inside for load this chunk, and I have changed the version to light loader for the carpet client. Now we go back at the chunk, and the system for the RNG is finished. Now we go to take one pickaxe with enchantment RedBlaze fortune 3, and if you want efficiency 5, and go to take all or do you want emerald, this is not ore but is for the nether words. And where is lapis? There is. Now random tick speed 300 for grow that. I'm set to on 3. Log out save is very important. When when the autosave is go, all chunk are unloaded, and at the next autosave you turn on the system, you load the chunk. When the chunk are unloaded from the autosave, you turn off the system, you go to reload the chunk. And this is very noisy, but if you don't want that, if you don't add all autosave turn on, turn off the lever, you go to create one autosave detector, but I have not the idea how to beat that. Now you go to use carpet chunk debug tool on true for can see that, and I relog into the server for reload the chunk, press F6, press on start, and how you can see the loading is start. I have not idea why, but if I go to place the lapis lazuli, I take 32 items from all, or I go to mine. In this case, I have finished the ore manipulation. When it's finished, when the chunk loading go beyond to the region of the ore manipulation, and when this happen, you don't in the ore manipulation don't give you the max number of item. Now, oh wait, it's possible I have not load all chunk. It's possible sometimes I have missed one chest in the chunk, and now I go to see. So when the chunk loading go into this chunk and load that, I'm in the new region, and this is not a region of ore manipulation, and when you go to load all this chunk, the ore manipulation turn off, and when you load all this chunk, the ore manipulation is on. But it's not important, you wait 1 minute and you have another time the autosave, or use tick warp, wait, and you turn off the tick warp and turn the lever, load the chunk, place the emerald, and take all. Yeah, it's possible sometimes there is one chunk don't load very good and take you one item. I have no idea why, but sometimes it's happen. And that's for all type of ore. And now I have finished to load all chunk. Yes. Now wait and turn on the system. Oh yeah, it's possible sometimes don't unload the chunk, you quit and reload into the server for unload the chunk and wait the autosave and go to reload the chunk and go to use the entire ore manipulation. And for the another words work in this method, you don't use the pickaxe, but we go to use the hand. And yeah, it's so cool for the lapis. It's so cool to obtain 32 items at a time. In this case, is beyond the region of the ore manipulation. And now still wait. If you don't unload the chunk, you go to use the carpet, tick warp, wait, and turn on the system and load the chunk and take your lapis. It's so cool that. And yeah. And this is the tutorial. For today is all. And thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.